Last Sunday, I made the announcement how God made a way for us with this new place that is near Meridian School. And so I just want to talk to you about how we are planning to move there, what is the process that is happening right now. Um, um, Let me just give you a background story and then I'll come to that. So just pay attention for the next 10 minutes. Those of you who are here for the very first time, please forgive us for the next 10 minutes. Just please bear with us. I just want to talk to the church because it is something very exciting that is going to happen, that is happening in Capstone. When we started searching for the place, when we thought that we need to move to a new place because we want to give more space for people to come in, we started looking for spaces that are already built, and we realized that either they are not up to the standards that we wanted it to be, or they're not willing. So finally we kind of zeroed in on an open land. We thought, okay, let's take an open land and just do a prefabricated structure which can be moved from one place to the other place whenever we get our own land. So we started looking out for a new open land. We had two problems. The problem is that even though there are people who are willing to give lands to us, either they are disputed lands, that means we can't do anything there, or those lands, even though they're legal, they don't have the urban clearance for building something. So really, we just couldn't do anything. We needed a lot of tough. We will have a tough time with GHMC because GHMC will not give permission to build churches in a private land. So it's not possible. Really. So we tried everything that we can. We spoke to every single guy who can influence to get a place to get the church done. So it's just not going to happen. So while this is happening, we started asking God, is there any other strategy that you want us to come up with? There are two things that we thought. One is that we would hire a function hall for Sundays so that we can have worship there, gives more space for people to worship, and just keep this place. That was one idea. The second idea is something that we liked more. Second idea was, instead of building a place, a temple, in the sense of building itself, or prefabricated or whatever, instead of that, we will come up with a new strategy that we will buy a tent. The reason we want to buy a tent is because, I don't know if you realize this or not, when we started collecting funds for what we're going to do, we called it Tabernacle Fund. We didn't call it Building Fund. You remember? Remember that? So, we thought, why not make it real tabernacle? Why do you want to build a temple? Why can't we just make it a tabernacle itself? A tabernacle that is good. Okay, not really, not just some just tent, some shade, but really a very good. Can you show it on the picture? I really love to see that. People to see that. Okay, so we tried to search and tried to find which is a very good tent that we can use. And we stumbled upon a guy who actually makes tents for churches in US. He's a supplier of the tents, whatever size you want, to the churches. These kind of tents are very popular in US and in Africa. The churches are using them. So we thought, why not use that idea, the strategy? It's simple, it's easy to install, easy to move from one place to the other place, and it's something we can retain. Most importantly, it'll cut the cost down by half. Exactly. If we build a prefabricated structure, it would cost us something like 30 lakhs, 25 to 30 lakhs. Just by buying one tent, we will cut it by half. And still accommodate more people than what we thought we can accommodate. So that's when we freezed on this. We said, let's go with the tent. Now this is a tent that is made up with what we call PVC, polyester vinyl carbonate, something like that. So that means it is weatherproof. In other words, you will not have rain affecting you, or it is also made, the tent is made, the strength is something that can hold, it can withstand up to 102 miles per hour wind power. It is made for Texas, Texas situation with the kind of winds that flow there. It is made for that. So that means it will stand. Okay, no matter what happens. And I'm sure Hyderabad never experiences 102 miles per hour winds. It's not going to happen in Hyderabad unless God really wills for us to understand that He is in control of the nature. But I'm sure this will help us, and it will accommodate at least 700 people in one go, one sitting. In fact, more than that. So we decided let's go with this because it will cut the cost down, and it is a durable tent. It is a tent that is certified by American government as fireproof. Means you can't fire it. In fact, we asked Dave, who has gone to US, we asked him to get that material and just check it. He did try and do that. He tried to tear it. He tried to fire it. It just didn't happen. It was good material to invest in. So we decided, let's go with this. This is something that is good to invest, something that will stay with us. Even if we get our own land and we build our own temple, we still will have this tent to use for many other occasions, many things. So this is something worth. That's where we actually cut down the cost. I don't know if you remember, when we gave the funds, talked about funds to you, we said we are aiming at 50 lakhs. Just by doing this, we have brought it down to 34 lakhs. Just like that. 15 lakhs is just cut down because of this one single decision. But what we did not want to compromise was a facility for children. Here is what you need to understand this. For the last 2 years, you are enjoying a very good facility. You have a very nice place. It looks nice with all colors and AC and all that stuff. It is children who are suffering for the last 2 years. Our children go to Sunday school on the other side. The first 1 year, we did not even have electricity on that side. They just had Sunday school with a makeshift fan. We had to do an extension box and put a fan there. And children would be boiled in summer and while they're sitting in Sunday school. So I said, this time when we go to a new place, we will suffer. Let the children have a great facility. So we're going to invest first in children. That means we will develop a facility that is good for Sunday school, that is good for, that they will have a great time as our children. Because it's an open land, they do need a shade, and we want to do a facility there and then purchase this. So we have in front of us a target of 36 lakhs, which we need to raise for both our construction and the tent and the rest of the facilities, the infrastructure that we need to develop. I'm going to leave a challenge with you here. We're going to start paying them from next month. Practically, that's the lease agreement. That from February we start paying them. But we are aiming together because we spoke to all the civil engineers, architects, and we tried to frame a time frame for ourselves. And we felt that we will move from here on the first week of March. That gives us 6 weeks time, not only to build a facility for children, but also to get the tent from US. Now, tent will be taken, it will take 10 days for them to make for us, the specifics with which we have given. And once they do that, then they will ship it to us. That will take about 50 days. That means they're asking 2 months from us. But we still want to go ahead and start on the first week of March. It gives us 6 weeks time so that we can finish the facility for children first and then keep moving inside. Maybe first 2 weeks we'll do a normal tent, and by then we will get our tent to be in place with us. I'm looking at Palm Sunday being our actual tent being in place for us. The reason Palm Sunday, we entered into this place on Palm Sunday. So I thought, okay, we'll finish 3 years and then move there on a Palm Sunday to the new place under the new tent. All right, now we also need 6 weeks time so that we can work out transportation facility for those who don't have vehicles. It's a little inside. So we start thinking, racking our minds, how can we help people who don't have a transportation? They do need a transportation. If they can we work out a solution for them so that we can bring them and at least drop them at a facility where they can get their buses or autos, whatever. So just give us that time to work on how can we better help you to bring to the facility. Here is the challenge that is in front of us. Listen to me very carefully. When we gave a challenge, I don't know if you remember, Andrew, on 2 weeks, the second week of December, Andrew stood up and made the announcement about how much we raised up. You remember? He said we have raised up 18 lakhs so far. Now, what he meant to say was 18 lakhs was what promised to the church, to us. That means all of you promised 18 lakhs. All the cumulative amount was 18 lakhs. Because we trusted that you were going to give, he announced it as 18 lakhs. What we actually received in finances, in the matter of checks or whatever, I told you the first timers just excuses for a few minutes. What we received was 12 lakhs 73,878 rupees. That's as on 31st December. 12 lakhs 73,878 rupees. Out of which we have spent 5.5 lakhs. That means we gave 4 lakhs to other churches. You remember we have made a commitment that the first 10% we will give it to other churches. We have already done that. 2 churches are already built. 2 more churches are getting built. 1 church will start tomorrow getting built. So 5 churches, as far as we know, we have, are on the process of construction, and we have also contributed to New Life Assemblies from our fund to them. So 6 churches overall are the churches that we have extended our hand out of the 4 lakhs we gave to them, and we said, "This God blessed us, so we want to bless you back." After that, we paid our advances. What we have at present in our hand is 7 lakhs 20,000. That means in the next 3 weeks, we need to raise 14 lakhs. Why am I saying that? For the facility for children and the toilets to develop, we need at least bare minimum of 10 lakhs. No matter how much we worked out, no matter how much cost cutting we did, we still need to invest 10 lakhs for children. Just to get the facility in place, for them to have a good Sunday school place. And we need to pay the tent person before he ships. Overall tent with the import tax and everything for us, it's coming to 11 lakhs. So it is 21 lakhs that is needed over the next 3 weeks. That means we have 10 days time to pay off completely to the tent guy, and then we have 3 weeks time to pay the construction workers slowly. That's not a problem. That's why I'm giving a time frame of 3 weeks. That means we need to raise 14 lakhs in the next 3 weeks. The rest of the production, whatever we need to do, infrastructure, we can do it over the year. It's not a problem. We can do slowly as we can save money, we can keep rising our finances and slowly upgrade ourselves to a better sound system or lighting, whatever. We can do slowly. But this is what we need at this moment as a church in order to move to the new place on the first week of March. So I'm challenging you today. I know you've been gracious, you've given out of your hearts, out of your lives, sacrificially. But what I'm asking you to do today is to pray that God would enable you more to serve Him more through your giving. I want you also to take up a challenge to talk to others, friends of yours, those who are benefited through. There are a lot of people who listen to our church, the podcasting, or watch on the YouTube. I'd like you to talk to your friends, your colleagues, whatever. You want to rise up finances for the church. And do that, please. Please do that. Here is the point. I know 3 weeks, 14 lakhs is a big money. But I think we have a bigger God. Now, you don't believe that, do you? No, you don't believe that. You didn't even respond. You didn't even flinch. That means you don't believe. We've got a bigger God. I've seen what God can do when we move to this place. 4 weeks. From 6,000, we raised up 11 lakhs. 4 weeks. From 40 people. It's not impossible. Nothing is impossible to our God. If He does that, He does that. We were looking for 1,000 square yards. He gave us 3,500 square yards. That's how big our God is. Okay, so trust in God. That God would enable you, God would give you faith to move. The reason I'm saying that is last week when Doug stood here, the celloist, and gave a testimony of how he thought it was impossible to go in front of Pope and play. And after playing, to actually meet Pope. And then when he went to meet Pope, he actually hugged him, which is impossible. Happened. It was something that was beyond his imagination. During this testimony, he said something that just caught my attention. I just want to leave that with you. He said this. The reason I felt that God asked me to share this with you is because God wants Capstone to attempt that. Isn't that what he said? He said God is going to challenge your church to do something that is impossible. That's what he said. I didn't even share with you about what we're going to do. He already challenged. God already spoke to you that He's going to challenge you as a church, us as a church, to move forward with faith. Because I'm going to ask you to attempt impossibility. We will attempt an impossibility. And we will see our God is a God of impossibilities. He deserves our faith. Let's give our faith to Him. He has done so much already beyond our imagination. He will do amazing things. So as we move forward, I want you to pray about that. Keep talking to people who can, help, come along, stand along with us in this venture. That's number one. I want you to do, number two, the second thing I want you to do is to pray. Pray that those of us who make decisions, those of us who are going to help in getting this place done, have wisdom. Civil engineers, architects, or workers, laborers, it doesn't matter. Whoever is going to help in getting that place done for us, ready for us, will have wisdom, direction from God, that we will do exactly how God leads us to do. That it would be for the glory of God. All right? That's so serious. You're so serious. Smile. Smile. We're going to see an amazing miracle, by the way. You are going to truly see water going back. Okay? Remember when I challenged you? I told you will see the water go back. You will see the water go back in the river zone through our church. Remember that. So 2 things you're going to pray. That God would enable you to serve by giving. God would enable people who are making decisions and doing work with His wisdom and with His protection. Alright? Let's trust God. Finances are not our problem. Trust me. Finances are never our problem. They're never our problem. We trust God, we keep moving. God will take care of the rest. If He doesn't do, also it doesn't matter to us. Does it matter really? Doesn't matter to us. Even if it doesn't happen, we will still go and worship God under a tent. Big deal. It doesn't make any difference to us. But we will still have this faith that God can do impossible things.